see here. Do you guys want to be on the mic? I can control the broadcast? Or?
Sure. Are we going to do it from here? Right here.
Sure.
I guess, do you want to start the introduction?
We're also live.
Sure. Yeah, welcome everybody to Saturday at the Coyote Curling Club for the MoPac 2022 Men's Club Playdowns. We're going to start the action here with Team LeClair going up against Team Raju. I'm Daryl Horseman, and we'll be having Ryan Olson, our producer, help us out, and Patrick McDonald is here today to help out on the commentary. How you doing today, Pat? Good, very good, thank you. Yeah, we've got a lot of a couple teams undefeated. We got a couple teams that might be looking to find something to do for a Sunday afternoon here in Phoenix if they have a late flight. But so far, it's been a really good couple days of curling. So
yeah, and the competition is looking a little tough at the top end.
yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, let's just give everybody a leaderboard update. We've got Team Basrack from Park City still trying to find that first win. Fleming from Coyotes is 1-3. LeClair, top of the leaderboard with 4-0. Mendoza from Hollywood, 1-3. Raju, 2-2. Siggins, also from Coyotes, 4-0, sharing the tie with LeClair. Spangler from Wine Country is 1-3. And Tate from Coyotes is 3-1. So there's a lot of playoff implications today, as well as, depending on who wins and loses today, that last shot draw is going to come into play. So it'll be an interesting afternoon for curling. Yeah, during the practice, watching the timing, and it looks like the ice is about 15-second hog to hog right now.
Ooh, that's quick.
Yeah.
This last draw.
Yeah, and I think we should see a fairly technical game from Raju and from LeClair. Looks like they started out with the corner guard. Looks like Raju's electing to come around. So he's going to overcurl a little bit. Is he going to settle down? So it did settle. There is those two staggered guards on the right-hand side of the sheet as we're looking at them. Looks like Bob's electing to come around and just follow him in by the looks of it, huh? Throwing the rock here, that's Jeff Baird. A fun fact about Jeff Baird is he owns every copy of Sports Illustrated going back since the very first time they published the book.
Okay, yeah, I've only got one.
Well, you love what you love.
That's it. Nice shot, little tap.
Very good. It's interesting how they're already electing to bring the house, the game into the rings. It's early. But, typically at this level, a lot of teams, depending on the team strategy, you want to just maybe keep it clean, maybe just play a hit game, get the butterflies out, get used to the ice.
For sure. This is part of the, you got to win, lose, just to get to the finals. We're only one more day away. Oh, nice little game. It still looks like 2-0.
And then yesterday, we did have a little bit of audio interruption, so I think we've got that figured out today. So if you want to drop a comment in the YouTube comments, so we can see if our mics are working well today, that would be appreciated.
Looks like it's coming down nice. It's going to sit in some kind of pocket.
So we've got certainly a lot of rocks in play. By the looks of it, we've got enough rocks behind the tee line. You know, that whole curling adage, you can't make any rock behind the tee line any better. So if the problem, I guess, with having so many rocks behind the tee line is you have jam potentials. You know, that can certainly hurt you. This one looks like it's going to just squeak by. Nice shot. Next up to throw on LeClair team. Looks like he's wanting to just throw maybe back 4, back 8. Try to rattle those around. This is Fred Maxey. He's the 1997 winner of the Nanton Meat Spiel. Anybody from Alberta out there knows where Nanton is. It's a great place to go visit. And also he was the 2021 fourth event runner-up in the Rocky Mountain Open up in Denver Curling Club.
He's yelling. He's standing up.
Yeah.
Doing the chicken walk.
It's coming in quite nice.
Nice. Want it, please?
Nice little bit of a rattle. Very good. I think I didn't see who won the toss, but I want to say it's is it Raju who's got the hammer? Oh, okay. Well, that settles that. Nice to see a taped up corn broom out there with a tuck slide. Very good. Yeah, this is Richard Lazarich throwing the stone. Nice to see. Yeah, it looks like it needs to go. He certainly doesn't want to choke off that draw path. The only problem now with the I think red's shot 1 and shot 2, and you've got 2 yellows effectively kind of guarding shot 1 and shot 2 behind those covered guards. Even if you came down with, let's say, a hack weight or a board waiter, well, the double, you know what, Pat? Looking, do you think the double's there?
I think
Like if you were to hit,
yeah,
it might rattle off that
I think it might
shot too,
rattle
right?
that yellow one.
I was just looking at the overheads there. The overheads
Oh, there you go.
might be close, but you can certainly, do a nose hit and keep them to 1 possibly.
Yeah, I'd say keep them at 1.
Yeah, it looks like here they're just trying to change the angles up here a little bit. If they can keep that on the high side.
Right down on us again.
Which they did. The only problem now, well, I guess you've got that yellow guard out front. I hope Raju's thinking of running it back into the pile. Because now with the way those angles are set up, you can make a lot of rocks fly and potentially be left with 1 yellow in the 4-foot. Let's see what Raju decides to do.
Yeah, if they nose it straight back, and it's definitely going to open everything.
Yeah, and I think at this point they're going to have to, because obviously Bob's sitting 1-2. You could also, I suppose, at this point, you could, it is the first end, you'd get the hammer back in the second. You could elect to just block any more, the path for any more reds to get in the house. It doesn't look like any of those yellows are going to go anywhere anytime soon. Maybe put something top 12 right of center.
The first end, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We'll see what Raju. And kudos to Raju. He's single-handedly trying to get Curl India on the map. He's been a big, strong proponent and driving force behind Team India for probably the last 5-6 years, as long as I can remember. Yeah, and he curls out of the newly minted club in Tahoe with Eric and Edith. So,
There you go. Straight back.
Nice shot. It does open up the potential for, well, if they try to double out those 2 reds, the second shot is going to go, so they got to be a little careful now.
Bob's thinking a little bit.
Yeah. And with Bob's got a long list of accomplishments, probably long as his leg. You know, starting off with the 93 Canadian Brier, 2017 Senior National Bonspiel Champs, 2018 MoPac Mixed Champion, 2020 MoPac Men's Champion. So, long list of accomplishments.
And I think that's good. I mean, he's been around a long time. He's got his fingers and everything.
Make him sound like you cut him open. We can count his rings like a tree. So here we go. Here's Bob's first one. A little bit of heat. Looks like it's control up, maybe normal.
Yeah. If he gets by, it might be okay.
Looks like he's trying to do the in-off.
Doing the other one. All right.
And unfortunately, an uncharacteristic flash. Now this is going to... Now it looks like Raju was indicating that he wants to do the in-off on that yellow that's on the edge of the 8-foot. There's really no need to. If we can get a... Well, I guess that red is protected with that centerline guard that's out there now. You know, at this point here, like, I would almost recommend they just corner freeze onto shot 2 and just try to hold right where Raju's tapping his broom, right there, absolutely. Hold Bob to maybe a tough 2, but hold him to 1. And then that would be a huge win for Raju's rink, right?
Yeah, I think we should play the aggressive. Like you said, it was the first hand. A little hit and roll.
Like you can see...
Going back and forth to both sides.
Well, you can see why they were trying to do that. If Bob did make contact with the in-off, the hit and roll, he wanted to count 3. So being a little aggressive. So if they were to put, you know, a corner freeze on that shot rock, which I believe Team LeClair thinks is theirs, then effectively you take away anything for LeClair. So, all right, big shot here from. Yeah, it looks like they're just trying to freeze in there.
Yeah, just coming down.
Yeah, and we will find on this sheet with the intern going away, it will curl a little bit more away from the wall than it will on the intern side. So.
Looks like he's happy.
Sweeper's keeping it clean. Maybe this is the first stone out in the fresh stuff, so just keeping it clean. Well, it may have done the job. You know, sometimes it doesn't have to be quite, you know, like most people think. You know, when you throw a guard, it has to be absolutely perfect. You know, even a guard that just puts the fear of throwing it into the shooter's hand is fine. You know, even if it's not exactly where you want it to be.
They tried to keep him with
Yeah, he's
only sitting one.
Yeah. So this one here, going again. This is going to be the intern from the wall side, so we are going to see a little bit extra curl. So I think we got a 50-50 shot of it hitting a little on the high side, which means left of center. But in these typical shots, knowing Bob's play style, he'll probably give it a little extra rotation to try to hold the curl, or take the curl out of it.
Nice little rub.
Yeah, and Jeff's trying to keep it clean. Looks like it's going to over curl. That's good. Yep. Yeah. One for Team LeClair. Good end. It got complicated pretty darn quick. That could have ended up poorly for both rinks. But objective 1 accomplished by Raju with keeping Team LeClair to 1. Oh, and we're going to take just a quick break right now while we get set up for the 1-minute break.
That's
All
good,
right, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's see here. Just waiting for scores to be updated around the sheets. Looks like on sheet D with Siggins against Mendoza. Looks like Siggins took 2 in the first. Now they're in the second. Over on sheet A, so we're kind of bumping around here a little bit. This is Spangler and Tate. Looks like Spangler took 2 in the first. Can you see what's happening on sheet C?
Sheet C, it still hasn't been put up yet.
No score in sheet C, all right. Oh, it's a blank end.
We got a
that
blank.
Explains that.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Looks like we got a little hit and roll going on, or is it a draw? Oh, he's happy with this. Oh, he's coming down to it.
Yeah, I think both teams, realized after that first and how complicated it was. Certainly, they traded a few hits. Partly covered. They're going to need a straight nose hit on that, or you got the jam potential on that rock on the.
I don't see anything getting to the nose. If they go after that, it's going to jam.
Oh, true. Well, I guess the only side, coming back this way here, the out turn is going to curl a little bit more. So this is.
Oh, Bob just kind of shrugged his shoulders like what?
It looks like it's maybe a little wide. It should curl though, because the wall.
Yeah, here it comes. Look at this.
Yeah, sometimes if you throw the right weight but not the right line, good things happen.
Oh, just a little rub.
So there we go. That sets up Raju nicely with some backing on that shot rock. Now how they navigate 2 out of this. Looks like they're trying to put something right on top of that rock that's got backing on the 8-foot, so you'd have 2 behind cover.
Yeah.
And at some point, with the 5 rock rule, I would suspect Bob's going to start peeling that corner guard pretty quick.
Yeah, no matter where this rock ends up, I think Bob's going to start peeling everything.
Looks a little light, so maybe we want to play the tap back on that yellow.
Nope, ain't even going to get there. Little nip, though, wouldn't be bad. All right.
That's not bad. Yeah, it does give it a little bit extra coverage.
Yeah, Bob's got to think about something like this.
Yeah, and hitting the crotch there, you typically would leave the shooter there, so he's going to want to have to hit one and maybe click the other one as he goes by. So you have to do something here. Looks like sticking with the draw. Sticking with the draw.
Yeah.
And again, that's sort of the opportunity with this sheet with so much curl. You'd think there'd be no way to get to be shot, but yeah, this will curl, especially once that weight comes off. It's going to curl an extra 3 feet just on its own.
Oh yeah, I think if he can get by the guard, he might outcount, only expose maybe a quarter of it. Freddie's always good at that. Oh, they're only walking it down. Nobody was near it.
Yeah, it looks a little long. It's going to hang on just at the back 4. And again, that's going to give Raju something to sit on. Typically at this point, you would want to put something at top of the mid-4, top of the button, so that if Team LeClair does come down and hit you, you've got a jam potential.
Yeah.
So let's see here. It looks like kudos to Raju and his rink. It seems like they've really adjusted to the speed of the ice. Since day one. There's been a couple rinks from out of town that have been taken a little bit by surprise with the speed of the ice. So good on them for adjusting.
Yeah, I think a lot of the teams have been doing really well with that because the ice is fast.
This one's going to over curl, so they're going to have to go quickly for line.
A little short, it looks like, maybe. Unless he's guarding. Oh, did it get by? Whoa! Look at that.
Great shot. Yeah, you could afford to have that maybe another, 4 or 5 inches to our left. But
Yeah.
as it is, it's not a bad shot at all. It looks like Bob's asking for, put something mid-8 center line. And this would be typically one of those setup shots.
Yeah, he's setting up something for the next 2 rocks.
Well,
for sure.
he's going to want something to hit, wanting something to blast off. So I think he's asking Fred to corner freeze on that yellow that was just placed, so that on Fred's next one he can throw maybe a normal upweight hit and try to. They got to unlock that red yellow at the back.
Yeah, for sure. All right, looks like the sweepers are happy with it.
Looks like they need to curl just a little bit. They're getting the outside man on it. So it's coming
Looks
down.
like it's going to come right down to it.
They don't really want a bit of a bump. There was a bit of a bump. This could help Raju. If he wanted to be really aggressive, he could run that straight back, double out those reds, and put a lot of pressure on Bob. But even if he just hits it right now and rolls a little bit to his right, that's a great shot. But right now,
He's looking for the hit.
that red rock
Calling
is
for
going
normal.
Red rock is going to cause them some problems, so they certainly have to deal with it. With this turn, we shouldn't expect it to curl any more than we would normally think with that weight of a shot. So
I like the call.
they're sweeping for
Go
line.
aggressive in the first couple of ends. Why not?
Yeah, Zarowicz is throwing this one.
Ooh, here we go.
Just,
Okay.
and that's the unfortunate part there. Unfortunate part. We went from sitting one, fairly protected, to now how do you get that out? There still is an opportunity to hit and roll. Hit and roll if you're Raju.
Yeah.
So 3 could be on the table here, depending on what happens in the next 2 shots. But
Well, if Bob comes down right on top of that, it's definitely going to be really difficult to do anything for Raju.
yeah, and of course Bob, he's going to want to keep this top of the button before, well, it needs to actually overcurl. If he leaves it right on the center line, that'll be an easier double for Team Raju. So yeah, getting a little bit on the low side would be good.
All right.
And we know this is going to curl, so line is going to be really important here. Here it comes, waiting to curl.
Oh, Freddie's waving it off. Oh, it's going to overcurl. It's a little short, but great card. Pro side. Red's looking solid for 1 right now.
You do have the in-off on that yellow that is, to Richard's left. He's just walked behind it. You can do the in-off right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
I think with, it looks like they're trying to run just a straight run, double run those 2 yellows back into the pile.
He's got to hit it just right.
Yeah, this is
Because
gutsy.
the red and yellow 1 and 2 are locked to each other. Yeah, he's got to double think this.
Yeah, this is one,
Because if he hits this wrong, yellow straight back. All right, I see what he's doing. I see what he's doing.
It's not the worst call, but I think
maybe he's hitting. He's saving the hit and roll on the last rock, because that's wide open over there on the left side.
Yeah, I'm not sure the the difficulty of the shots pretty significant. If he makes it, great, and obviously if he makes it, it's the right shot to call.
Yeah.
But I don't know if more veteran skips would be taking this on right now.
I would almost save this shot for the last shot.
Right. Right. Well, let's see here.
All right.
Raju's a pretty good shot thrower. So,
Yeah, he is.
So he's he's throwing a lot of weight.
No sweeping. Just it looks like a little cleaning.
And he did make contact with it. He did get it out. He's shooting 1 and 2, so nice result. Nice result. This is going to allow Bob to draw in.
Yeah, it looks like Raju is 1 and 2.
So Bob's going to want to get a little bit under cover. fist bumps from the Raju Richard connection there. Funny story about Team India. They actually tried to get David Cesaro to come out and curl. But there's a lot of people that, having curled with David are still in a bit of therapy. So I think that's why he was ultimately not invited to come out. But
well, I hear therapy is good.
Yeah, and also I guess with David it's he's not Indian.
No.
Okay. So there's that. So.
All right.
But yeah, no, maybe he's going for his citizenship and.
Okay. Yeah. Let's let's just get some good wait. Bob's calling what? It's almost like it looks like he's gonna. Is he gonna come off the yellow in the back? But the question is if he flips that, is he gonna be shot? All right. Bob's rocks off. Yep.
Yeah, they're calling for the early sweep.
Yeah, and that's usually a sign of maybe.
Nice shot. Yeah. You're gonna force Raju to hit and not roll. That's obviously why Bob and Fred wanted to go that route.
Yeah.
You could also, if you wanted to, you could draw it. It really comes down to player preference. Throwing the out turn on that. Well, the intern's not going to curl a whole bunch, so you could just hit it. It all depends on what the player feel. Does he got his draw
Yeah, and that's
game?
the thing. Sometimes the last rock is that what's more comfortable. You want to hit and stick, but if you hit and roll out, you're still going to get one. Or is it going to be a heavy draw? Use that as backing. I think that's one of the tough shots of a skip. But with that brim, I think he's going to hit.
Yeah, it looks like a hit. Yeah, if he just plays a nice control weight.
And I think they're lined up to where all he's got to do is touch it, and he'll still get his one.
Yeah,
But it would be nice if he hit and stuck and got his two.
Yeah, he's going to want to roll toward the center line for sure.
Yeah.
Because that shot 3 is just outside the 4 foot.
Looks good. Not a whole lot of sweeping. Here it comes. Low, easy.
Yeah, and just a little bit excited. Yeah, that didn't need all of that weight.
Yeah.
And that's
All right, one
that's
yellow.
why they did what they did. Yeah, absolutely. So we
All
got
right,
a tie game
game.
here on sheet B. Let's look around the other sheets and see what we can tell you. Looks like Spangler is still up 2-1 over Tate. They're in the third. Tate took 1 in the second end. Fleming and Bazrak 1-0. Relatively low-scoring game. They're in the third. And on sheet D, looks like Siggins stole another one in 2. So it's 3-0 for Siggins over Mendoza.
I do have to say that most of the games are really tight. I haven't really seen any major blowouts or anything.
Well, if you look at the line score from Thursday, there was a lot of games that were 10-8,
Yeah.
12-9. Yeah, that's nobody.
A lot of scoring.
Nobody played defense. Yeah, and certainly as everybody sort of calmed down, got used to the ice, got used to the club. Yeah, the scores have certainly tightened up.
I think today is the important day.
Yes.
Got a couple of top teams that are, looking forward to that Sunday morning at 7 a.m.
Yeah, curling on Sunday is always a good thing.
At 7 a.m., no.
That's what we got set up here. So it's a relatively conservative game. And I say that only because they start off conservative, and all of a sudden there's 5 rocks in the house.
Yeah, I think I would like to see a just go for it in the first couple ends. But, you know, you go up and back in the first two ends, and you want to understand the ice, try to get some lines. But now I think it's time to just go for, you know, play for 2, 3.
Well, you know, certainly there's that adage, you know, you want to play to win, you don't want to play to lose. You can be too defensive.
That's true. But within a 10-end game, you can, you know, go for broke in those first 3, 4 ends. And then if you get it, then go conservative. If you don't get it, then you kind of got to go for something.
Agreed.
But I mean, it looks like both teams are putting up guards.
Yeah, usually it's only one team that needs to do that. Looks like you got 2 corners, or maybe the center line guard for Raju over curl. They're going to come off, so they may have to deal with that at some point. You just, you know, ideally put a guard up for the other team. So somebody's going to try to make a way around there. There's not a whole lot of room.
There's not. This one, like right here, looks like it's going to over curl.
Yeah, that is, again, that's that intern coming from the wall side. So they got to be. You got to really make sure you get out to the broom on those shots.
A little rub.
A little bit of a rub, yeah. Sitting top. So with that touching the rings, Bob kind of like to hit it now.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit part of the 5-rock rule.
Little hit and roll, yeah. Actually looks like a good shot.
All right, welcome from the Coyote Curling Club. You're in the warm room now. Welcome to the Coyote Curling Club. We are Patrick McDonald, Darryl Horseman, and we are watching the live action from the 2022 MoPac Men's Playdowns here in Tempe. It's been a great couple days of curling. Today's
for sure.
Going to be a really huge day for a lot of teams. We've got 2 teams at 3-0.
It's make or break today.
It really is, yeah. This afternoon is going to be exciting. This morning is going to lay the foundation for what should be an exciting afternoon. I think the next draw is at 5 p.m.
Yeah, 5, yeah.
And that's really going to set the stage for tomorrow's finals and stuff.
Sorry, I was looking for the thumbs up.
No trouble, yeah, thanks.
But we got that. Thanks, Ryan. But yeah, I mean, it's this right here is going to be the draw that it's going to set up for tomorrow.
Yeah, and there's a couple teams that can play spoilers. You know, for the rankings. Yeah, we'll be curious to see if any of the last shot draws come into play. And we've got.
Right now, Sean Tate, his rank is 3-1. The draw's going on right now, but his LSDs are the best right now.
Yeah, I think he was at 169, and the other team was 250 or 230. So yeah, he's got him.
So he's got to win, and he's got 2 great games coming up. He's got he lost last night to Siggins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good game. But yeah, he's got a couple of good ones. I think he's got Fleming and Bob. So his destiny is on his own. Mm-hmm. Bob and Mike are looking at hopefully. Well, right now they're 4-0. So yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a tough day.
Producer Ryan, do we have the bios for Raju? No? Okay. Thank you. Oh, perfect. Okay, so here we go. Thank you. So, so Tate's got his LSDs 259, Spangler 308, Siggins 357, Raju 447, Mendoza 464, LeClair 302, Fleming 332, and Bassrack something north of that.
A little bit north of that.
Thanks for sharing that. Thank you. Yeah, a little. Well,
those come into effect. You go head to head and win, lose 3 teams, and then you get those LSDs, and it's like, yeah. we didn't do good at that. So you lose that tiebreaker.
Yeah,
or you
it's
really
tough.
get it, and that's what gets you to the next event, you know?
Yeah, it's tough if you don't qualify or get to move on because of an LSD. You know, you wouldn't think, you know, that type of shot would have that much control over your destiny, but you know, it is a little thing that's can be in the back of your mind.
Well, as a skip, you know, going to Worlds and the Paralympics, you know, I kind of dreamed about those LSDs, and it helped out. Sometimes it didn't.
Absolutely, yeah. You picture your own destiny. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
What do we got here? So we've got a couple corner guards. We've got
It looks like
one
he's
red
coming
rock.
around.
Yeah, one red rock back of the house behind yellow cover.
You get by that, it's gonna look good.
Yeah, just needs to sit
Oh, I
down.
think it's by. And whoa!
That's okay. So you're behind cover. You're behind the tee line,
Back-
which is going to
yeah.
allow Bob's team to sit one on top of there. But it's not.
Oh, he's
Yeah, he's going to try to kill one.
Yeah.
Of them. Yeah, he just needs one. It could be different if they were on top of each other. But yeah, side by side, yeah, that's not ideal.
well, even with a close score, I think I'd want to keep it clean.
They have, you know, to your point, they have, you know, taken it to each other, you know, pretty consistently over the last couple ends.
Yeah.
A little more complicated than maybe it
I
has.
think
to be.
they're both playing conservative.
And is he going to take his one out? And unfortunately, it does.
Oh,
But it does stick around the
Okay.
back sheet. So I would suspect Raju's got an option. You know, he's got a choice to make. Do you split the house, put one, you know, behind his own, you know, yellow guard on the right hand side? Looks like he says, let's just put something top 12, top 8.
on the same side, but sometimes if you do that call,
You know, this,
I mean, if it comes down, you can set up the double, but you know, it's that. Where do you put it?
well,
What's the other team gonna do?
I think also, you know, and this could be something with newer skips being a little too greedy.
Oh yeah.
You know, if Raju can just maybe throw up a guard. You know,
Why
something,
not? It's
you
in
know,
the 4-foot.
Yeah.
You throw up a perfect guard, and you don't have hammer. You just close the 12-foot circle down to a 4-foot circle.
Yeah, and see, here's the problem. If, you know, looks like Lazarewicz's shot's a little heavy.
And it's gonna.
He does come on
Ooh.
top of it.
Oh,
but there's
okay.
still
I don't mind that.
there's still an opportunity for a bit of the high heat to kill both of those right now.
It looks like they're locked on. I think the top one might stay if he, you know, if he throws it heavy.
Looks like the Thunder from Nanton. You know, Fred Maxey's gonna
Well, I know Fred.
He's gonna
You
try
know
to
Fred
knock him.
personally as well.
Yeah.
I think he's got some heat.
a little bit.
No? Yeah, I think that's control. It's coming down.
Gets by that center line or that the corner guard. Actually, it's curling okay.
You know, he might get.
Well, this
Okay.
actually works out. Yeah, it works a little bit more into Raju's favor. They can hit and roll now.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with Raju. You know, with that last one being a little pep in his step when he threw it. He's going to want to try to get to the low side, which means it's right of center, so that he hits and rolls to Richard's left.
Yeah, if he can flip over, it might be good.
Yeah, if he noses this, of course, that's the miss. If he noses
Yeah.
it, he's going to leave the double for LeClair. So looking for just a nice control weight, maybe control down, board up, something like that.
I think he's ready. Look at him. He's focused.
It's not a lot of ice though, so they are. If he throws it with the right weight, the shot should be made. Mind you, I guess
Yeah.
that's the truth
No,
of anything.
for
right?
sure. Yeah, for sure.
That's curling. That's what we call curling.
All right.
He's got such a nice delivery.
Yeah, he is. He's
for
so
a relatively
smooth.
newer
Yeah.
curler. He's really a keen student of the game.
Looks good. Whoa, slow down. All right. Ooh, look, just a nice little rub.
Yeah, that's not a bad shot. You know, the double's there if you want to just get a fifth of that rock. the hit and roll, you could hit and roll over to Bob's right and get the double.
Yeah, but the way they're stacked, it looks like, I mean, he'd have to hit it thin. But it's there.
Yeah.
So do you go for this?
Or I was thinking if you hit it on the high side.
Oh, yeah.
Double and then roll somewhere over
Yeah,
here.
but I think if you do that, you're definitely rolling out to the far side. But you could jam on the far red one. But it's a thin double. But if he hits it fat, he's going to over-roll over the top of the back yellow.
It looks like Bob, with that ice that Fred's giving him, looks like he is trying to do the hit and roll.
Yeah.
So if he hits this right, he could roll over top and freeze onto that for shot. And rock on the tee line.
Oh, here it comes. Oh, he's definitely going on the other side.
They're sweeping for
He
line.
wants to cross over, yeah. Ooh, here we go.
Not a bad result.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Result. So Raju, you got the same opportunity.
Yeah.
And he can afford now to just nut it or get the hit and roll.
I'd like the hit and roll.
I think with Bob's last one, if it was if it was me, I would probably just try to nut it and just leave it right there and force, because if Bob hits you,
Yeah,
you're
if
gonna
he noses
steal.
it, yeah, you're stealing for sure.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind the hit and roll, and if you get behind that one guard, it's going to force Bob to draw, and he just threw the takeout. Going from takeout to draw is a little difficult.
It looks like we're got some measuring on sheet C.
Well, measurements are always good. All right,
So
here he
Raju's
is.
away. Looks like he maybe set it out a little bit. They're sweeping for curl.
Yeah. No, it's staying. It's staying. Looks like he might get a little roll. Even if he rolls out. Oh, all right. Well, it's still an open draw to the 4-foot.
So again, this might be. It looks like from where I was saying, it looks like he set it just a little bit, but
Yeah. But now look with how much curl there is. Do you think you can get around that guard with maybe backline hack weight?
yeah, oh yeah.
Possibly bump shot rot back out
Yeah,
and sit two? I mean, how aggressive do you think you should go?
Well, knowing Bob, he's probably going to go for two here, and I think since we are throwing the in-turn on the wall side, this is going to curl quite a bit. So I think even if he just throws, back 8, back 12, you should be able to, you'll be able to get past that corner of red guard with fairly no trouble. From where I'm sitting right now, I can see a quarter of it myself, so or at least a third.
I mean, it's early. Why not? All you got to do is touch it. Oh, nice, lean, positive.
Must be closer, going on and off, on and off. Looks like he's got plenty
Oh, he
of
went for
room.
2, and he's going to get it.
Stick around.
Yellow stuck around on the end.
Yeah, so it looks like it'll be too red. I don't think that yellow.
Yeah, I see
too
too
much. Yeah.
Too red for sure.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
That's the first deuce of the game. Looks like. Looks like the Spangler ring took a couple more. It looks like
Oh,
it's
did they?
5-1. Going in the fourth right now. Looks like it's still 3-1 over on sheet D. I don't know what the results were of that measure on C with Hart.
Oh, they lost the measure? Okay.
Sorry, lost one for who?
Just one for Fleming.
One for Fleming, so. Good.
So this is the producer, Ryan. So we're going to go back into the warm room, going to talk to Patrick a little bit more, maybe talk a little bit about how you came into curling and what some of the initiatives that you're working on, especially with MoPac.
Yeah, I'm excited about what I'm doing right now. I took a handful of years off from Team USA and cancer kicked in and all that, but I'm really doing something strong. I think that in juniors, everything is in the Midwest, and I want MoPac to be represented really big in U18s, U21s, any junior aspect. MoPac has so many clubs, and I've been in contact since I've been the new director for juniors. There's so many clubs in MoPac that don't even have juniors. So we're coming up with a program to do outreach to high schools, to any kind of juniors in MoPac, and it's time for MoPac to be represented at nationals, in the U18s, in U21s, and just get it out there and let them be, known for sure.
Yeah, and we're hosting with the U21 Challenge Series.
There's four. Yep, there's 4 U21 qualifications. One is here in Phoenix. Hopefully, we get a lot of teams to come out. But that's that. How far do you want to travel? With in the past, all the U21 qualifications have been in the Midwest: Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois. They did one in Philadelphia. But how far should you branch out? I mean, the country's 3,000 miles wide. Seattle, Oregon, Ogden, everywhere. It's time to get something out here. So this year, this is why we've got Phoenix. Thank you, Jessica Schultz. But yeah, it's time to get the west of the Mississippi going. But my concern would truly be the travel. It's easy to be in the Midwest and go, oh yeah, I'm in Minneapolis and I got to drive to Portage, Wisconsin.
Sure.
And it's drivable. But who's going to be coming out to the Phoenix event? Before the pandemic, Philadelphia held a U21 qualifier, and because of dates, they held it. 6 teams signed up, and there was 6 spots. So they just went, y'all pass.
Yeah,
they didn't even hold it.
Yeah, but I think also having it out here in Phoenix for the first time, not everybody, the newer curler, the U21 from California, from Utah, from Idaho, may not have the money or the means to go out to Portage, Wisconsin. And sometimes those places aren't the easiest place to get to, right? You gotta fly into Milwaukee, or you gotta fly into Madison and drive for 3 hours. So hopefully this will give newer teams, younger teams, maybe the opportunity to come out and kind of test the waters fairly cheap.
And I hope that a bunch of teams come out. It's Phoenix, it's Arizona, it's the desert, but it's got top-notch club with great ice, fast, curly, and the sun's always out.
The sun is always out. All right, what do we got here? Looks like we've got a couple of LeClair rocks behind the tee line in the house. Raju's got the one corner guard. Looks like Raju's electing to potentially hit and roll behind cover.
Is that a rock behind Bob? Or in front of Bob, sorry?
You're 2.5.
Okay. Looks like he's coming down to it, huh?
I thought they were trying.
Oh, he's by.
Yeah, they were trying to do the hit and roll. This isn't bad if it doesn't make contact and it just ends up being, in the rings, because obviously their objective here is to try to score 2, keep the game within grasp. So looks like Bob's saying, let's try to choke off that line, put something top 4, which isn't a bad play. And again, this is where position comes into play. If you put it too close, potentially give Raju's rink the ability to double out and sit 2 and then the 4-foot. So let's see here. Well, while we're looking at these here, let's talk about Jeff Baird, the second. He's the player just threw that stone, the second. He's the 2017 Senior National Bonspiel champ, 2018 Pick International champion. That's the sort of the international Pacific National Cup. Yep. 2019 MoPac Men's champ, 2020 USA Club National Silver medalist. So long.
Yeah, just keep saying long a few more times. He's got a long resume.
Yeah, I remember when I did their Learn to Curl when they first came out to the club, him and his wife, and they were keen. I think they came out to 4 or 5 Learn to Curls before they started in the league, and now look, he's winning everything.
Yeah, president for many years.
Yeah, president for many years. And then we've got Tom Danielson, the hairless giant out there by the clock. Tom works for Shutterfly, and he gets us actually a lot of cool little things with our logos because of Shutterfly. So shout out to Shutterfly. But, they were a 2018 MoPac champion, a Pick International champion, and 2020 MoPac Men's champion. His list is getting long as well. So congratulations to Tom Danielson. And he's also he's on our ice crew. He helps Sean Tate and a few others. Really important to the club.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good curlers here, and even some of the players that, like you said, that are out there are on the ice crew. And thank you to the ice crew. The ice is great. I got a chance to throw yesterday, or Thursday, before the first practice. It was fast and swingy. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
No, it's great conditions out there this weekend. All right, so we've got now, what would you almost call that, a gaggle of rocks?
A gaggle? I mean...
4 behind the tee line. Raju's in a pretty good spot. Obviously, there's all types of jam implications with any kind of an upweight shot. Looks like Bob is trying to pluck out that shot rock, and if he can double out the shot.
I see a gem coming. I mean, I'm not Martha Stewart or anything, but I see a gem coming.
Well, if not, you can preserve that call for later.
I see what you did there.
Oh, here we go. Oh, we're going to clip the guard, maybe. Oh, no, he's through. He's through.
And he did.
And the wrong side. Oh.
Well, the jam was there.
The jam was there. So you
thank goodness it wasn't preserved.
Yeah, none of these things are toast just yet. So.
Yeah, so that actually improves Raju's situation by freezing that shot rock onto.
And with how many rocks are left, I would almost want to start thinking about making sure that he gets the one.
Well, the ones, for sure. I think with Bob's team's a pretty good hitting team.
Yeah, they are.
And Raju, as good of a curler as he is, he's the only player on that team that plays pretty regularly up at the Epic Curling Club there in Tahoe. Yeah. So everybody else might be a little intermittent with their weight and the lines.
Yeah.
Although as beginners, they focus on the fundamentals, and so do you think that could actually be an advantage to saying it's like, okay, just make sure you hit the broom.
Yeah.
Make sure you work on your weight, and don't think about the other ephemeral stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, just focus on 1 or 2 things, and that could even be, like we sort of talked about last night, having that be a team goal. Okay, today I'm going to try to make 2 perfect hits, or I'm going to try to make 3 perfect draws.
Well, that was a good hit right there. Now he's sitting on top.
Yeah, Richard's a good little curler. He's been at it a long time, and the mileage, the electrical tape on that corn broom's been around. So.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Freddie.
Well, he's got. I think his odometer's rolled once or twice, but he's looking good for his age.
Yeah, he is. And this is a nice little shot right here.
Yeah. So here, the goal is to try to unlock that yellow-red combo.
Yeah.
So then they can get at it. So just control weight.
I think he's going to hit that top yellow one.
So puts it in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
Raju's going to have to
clean
figure
it up a
something
little
out.
bit. Yellow's still sitting too, though.
If I was Raju,
Red is backing.
Yes, Red's got backing. If it was me, I would corner freeze on that rock on the top of the 4-foot.
Because there's no guard. I think that would be a better shot than trying to throw the perfect guard.
Yeah, because if Raju tries to hit this out, there you go, Raju. You read our mind.
My thinking went like I just still not towards the end of the end, but like why don't you just draw in and be like top of the forefoot?
Well, if they draw in, you can still use that red rock. Bob can throw kind of a control upweight shot and do a lot of damage on those yellows. So it'd be good to just preserve that right now. They're in a good spot. They corner freeze it.
Yeah, if you corner freeze it and they go after that hit, then the corner freeze the red will go to the left.
They're thinking about this shot.
Oh, I know, but it looked like first time his hand.
They're coming down to talk
they're
about it.
they're like, wait, we're sitting 2, we can take the lead or tie it.
And this is where you don't need to score all of your points in one end. If you can get 2 here, that should be the team goal, and if you get 3, that's just icing on the cake.
Yeah,
They can go from sitting 2 to messing up, and now Bob can steal 1 or whatnot. So you have to have a lot of patience in this game. I've seen a lot of teams.
And where does that patience comes from? Is it the skip deciding on if it's going to be the second rock, the third's first rock? I mean, how much patience does the skip really need or should have? Well, you're a stud, so I'm asking your opinion.
See what happened here.
Oh, see right there? That was the wrong shot.
So now you go from being potentially getting 2, so now you got to scramble to try to get 1. So
I really like your call on just corner freezing, because now I think red's shot, and yellow went from 2 to what are we gonna do?
Yeah. So this might be and again, there's still lots of curling left, lots can happen, but this might be the shot where, tonight when they were doing their team talk, they go, gosh, in that end, why did we do that?
And also, I think with curling, you have to decide how conservative or how aggressive you want to be. And as you were saying, the aggressive play would be to try to score a bundle, score a handful, and you don't need to.
No.
It's a 3-1 game.
Right.
It's early.
Right. Yeah. You don't. Go ahead.
It's not the 7th end or the 9th end where it's like we need something or else we're a handshake at the end of this.
Right. Exactly right. And that's sort of just the I think that just comes with experience. To your point, Pat, like who's the person should be saying that? I think Raju had the right idea, and not being out there, I don't know, but I would think Richard maybe had the maybe he came down and convinced Raju to do that.
Because now yellow's sitting 3.
Red's sitting 3.
Or red, sorry. Yellow was sitting 2. So, I mean, Raju can still come down and sit in that little pocket like he's calling.
They're going to have to do that because now and even if they sit there, they got to be shot 1, so they got to get just a little bit of a roll. Because if he's not shot, Bob will probably throw the guard and go for the steal.
What about freezing into the pocket or just drawing into the pocket? Well, as long as you're sitting shot.
Well, that's the key, I think, right there. You've got to be shot. Because if you sit in the pocket and you let red be shot, then you're going to allow red to just throw up a guard.
Yep.
And then you're drawing against 1. It could be heavy. A lot of things can happen.
This shot right here really needs to be executed.
You don't want to roll. You don't want to hit and roll. Or else you'd be happy to take 1 at this.
Well, and also talking about the pro side miss or the plan Bs, like it looks like they're trying to draw down. Well, actually, based on the broom, I don't know what they're doing exactly.
That's close. Yeah, it seems like it's a lot of ice, but hopefully the weight is right, and they can afford, if it's a little heavy, they can afford a little bit of a
bump.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
Here we go.
But also the plan B was if it over curls, is that it could over curl into that pocket perhaps.
Yeah, and over curl a little heavy. Yeah. So what's going to happen here?
It's going to go by.
Make some contact and roll under.
Interesting. So
LeClair can just close the door now.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think Bob doesn't necessarily need to. I hate to say it this early in a game, but be greedy and try to do something.
But what do you think about that? You do have the yellow run back for the
Yeah.
double. If Bob puts a perfect one right there,
Top of the 8.
or let's say he's a little lighter and goes maybe just top 12, you do have that run back double.
Yeah.
This one
And
goes
even
there.
if he leaves it over a little bit and leaves it a hole. If you go for it, maybe. But right now, I mean, he's in a really good position to steal.
Oh yeah, multiple.
You know, you throw that center line guard top 12,
Or even
you
top
did-
8. If
even
they're
top
being
8.
greedy, yeah.
Well, the closer you get, you can either do the triple
They're-
or do the yellow run back.
Yeah.
But-
If they just go, mid 8, so they're
Yeah.
shot 1, 2, 3, you're going to force Raju
Yeah,
to do that run.
it's going to be forced, and they're going to be looking really good to steal.
Because right now, right, your end plan, if you were Bob, was to steal 1. Right now, they don't steal 2.
Maybe 3.
So they don't need 3. So it
No,
kind of
they
works in
don't.
reverse,
I'm just
right?
saying,
Like,
you know,
you don't need
but
to.
it's there.
Yeah, you don't need to score all of your points in one end, but you don't also need to steal them all either. So.
Well,
a good
that's
shot.
where that theory of, when can you close a game?
Well, it's the
and-
third end or fourth end, right?
It's the fourth end, but if Bob pulls this off and steals 3, the game possibly could be, a
Gertzie
little
would probably
tougher.
tell. Yeah, Gertzie would probably
You know?
agree with you. But then if you steal 2, there's still another hour and a half left.
Oh yeah, but that's where if you don't execute everything, it can turn on you, and Raju can come back. But here's your guard right here.
So it's going to go in just
It's
a
going
little
to
bit.
be in a little bit, yeah. Ooh, a little heavy even.
So that could actually, it's heavy.
Oh,
I was going to say to provide backing for Raju, but it's too far back to even do
Still,
that.
it's still 1, 2, 3. So Raju should just throw the exact same line, draw for 1, get out of here with the 1.
yeah. Right now, that's all he needs to do.
'Cause
Get the
there's-
1, then you're only down 1, right? Because it's
3-2
3-1.
headed into the 5th.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and even if you do run that back now, you don't get the triple, so you just got to draw it, put it right on the Restoration HQ symbol.
Yeah, patience is always good. Always got a little bit of
Yeah, so this will see how our young skip deals
doing
with
a heavy draw and use the red as backing.
Well, he should be going for T line and use the backing.
Yeah,
immediately.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is where you want your front end to say, it's okay to be heavy. You don't want to. You don't want to hear that.
Right before you throw your last rock, no, that is not what you want to hear.
Facing 3. This is Raju with appears to be a heavy draw.
And it's on its way. You get by the guard, I think you're going to be okay.
Not
No
sweeping it
sweeping,
yet.
yeah.
Not sweeping it.
They're just following it.
It's heavy. It's pretty
curl,
heavy.
curl. Nope, yeah, it's heavy. Oh, it's going to get something. Hit that
There
one.
you go.
There you
one
go.
One for Raju. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah, and again, that could have been a 2-3 point end for Raju.
yeah.
So, and then,
Yeah, I was watching on the streaming last night, and man, Siggins and Tate was a good game.
it was a really good game. Yeah, there was probably 4 or 5 points left on the sheet by both teams.
Yeah.
A couple misses here or there, but speaking of which, it looks like it is 5-1 for Tate
Oh, okay.
over again. Oh, 5-3.
5-3. Okay.
A big shout out to the volunteers and the spectators in the warm room who are very helpful regarding letting us know what the scores are.
Yes.
So for you, Patrick,
Yes.
we talked about how curling is in all ages, all abilities scored, and then we had different varieties of curling. Maybe could you explain what makes wheelchair curling unique and why you like it, if you do?
Well, I'm on camera, so I can say whatever I want, right? I honestly, I don't think that there's any difference. There's only 2 differences. Is that wheelchair plays 8 ends, able body plays 10 ends. Thinking time is a few minutes shorter than able body, and there's no sweeping. So when we play, we practice. We truly do timing, and we throw true weight. and with my experiences at the world level, knowing amazing curlers at the highest level, the Schusters, the Nicholas Adines, the Daryl Horsemans, the Jane Flynn Boyle. It's just those things that where when you practice, you've got to throw what true weight is. But I do know a handful of other high-end curlers that truly practice throwing 2 sweepers. Well, if you throw 2 sweepers, you're forcing the sweepers to get your accomplishment of true weight. So, other than that, I think it's the same. Highly competitive. And then, I can be cocky and say that sweeping's overrated. But it is truly needed. But curling is just an amazing thing, and I fell in love with it back in 2007. And honestly, I can't look back and say that I have any regrets whatsoever. Great friends, just great competitiveness. In any sport, you hate to lose, but you look forward to the next game.
That's a good life lesson too.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I've been here for 3.5 years, but I've been coming to this club for 5, 6, 7 years since you guys opened on and off. I love the people here, and the weather's great. I'm still, honestly, I think about it every now and then, and I'm not sure if I moved here because of the weather, or the quality of ice, or the people here. I think it's a tie. I love the sun, I love the people, and I love the ice. This is a great facility, and if anybody out there, where's the camera? If anybody out there has never been here before, please come out. It's an amazing facility. Especially come out during the summer. It's 110 outside. It's 44 out there. Ice is 24, and you guys have us.
Enough sold.
I think we have new membership already.
Yeah. I think this just went viral. And I guess you've been very gracious with what you've been saying, and I know on the behalf of the club, we're happy that you and your family are here as well. You bring a lot to the game, a lot to the club. Your friendship over the years has been invaluable, and there's so much good work that you have done. But there's so much good work that needs to be done here in the West. You spend a lot of time in the Wisconsin area.
We are working really hard. Whoever's watching, majority of you are MoPac. I'm the new director for junior curling for MoPac, and what we're going to do is I'm going to streamline with a heavy program to have every club in MoPac reach out to their juniors, their high schools, everything, to make sure that MoPac is strong in the juniors, U18s, U21s, anything national that's juniors. That's my main goal. I've got my wheelchair nationals and all that, but I think it's an equal effort on myself to do both. That, and we're going to do adaptive curling in MoPac, and we're going to start pushing for everything to make curling grow here in MoPac.
Yeah, and I became the Western director for the USCA. So between
I know that's why we're going to work hand in hand.
Absolutely, hand in glove, as they say, to make this.
Okay, I'm going to wear the glove. You can have the hand.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Well, it looks like Raju has got some work to do here. For those following along, we've got 2 LeClair rocks behind cover, behind 2 staggered Raju Team Yellow stones. So Raju's going to have to kill those in order to get to the 2 shot rocks. And it looks like Bob just threw up a nice centerline guard to block that path. So you could come around, but I think this is their second.
I mean, there's still plenty of ends to go. I think I'd almost clear those 2 yellows.
Great,
Nope.
great
And-
result. Very good
Ooh,
result.
okay.
So cut him down to 1. Has now shot 3 behind cover.
Yeah.
I would imagine Bob's going to draw around that center line guard, try to put something close to that shot 1 in
Raju's-
top 4.
Raju's 2-3.
For now, yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, for now. Yeah. I don't think, that with Bob being so close to the 4-foot, it could be really a non-issue. You know, they'll probably leave that to the very end.
Yeah.
Maybe use that for a 3-pointer or something. Comes Mr.
Comes
Sports
some Tate.
Illustrated, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like they're going after it, so I guess
They hit and
stand
roll
corrected.
all the way over. I mean, it's going to be
It's gonna
behind
curl.
that
It's
4-foot,
gonna
but
curl. Might just get a piece of it.
Any word if he has every issue of Sports Illustrated for kids?
No, I don't. Do they make a Sports Illustrated for kids?
They used to. I don't know if they still do.
Huh.
I'm not a kid.
Wow. Yeah, I guess if anybody knows, it'll be Jeff and I. You know?
well, that was a good roll.
was
Now
a
the
great
question
roll.
is there enough curl to get around that top red?
There for sure is. This is going to be, remember, the intern wall side.
Yeah.
So if he takes edge of 12, maybe mid 12, he can certainly loop around there and put it top of the button.
I say right there on the top 4.
Yeah.
Just out count.
There we go.
So just really quickly, you can see the clocks in the backgrounds on this view. This is an event that leads to a berth at a U.S. Nationals, in this case, Club Nationals. And so as part of that, we're doing competitive rules, including the orange brush pads and 38 minutes of thinking time per team. And so Raju's taking a little bit more time, I think, than would be judicious, should we say.
Right, yeah. There's, I mean, we sort of talked about this a couple nights ago, but the first 3-4 shots usually are kind of a can setup. I'm going to go corner, center line, in.
Yeah.
And that's going to take all of 2 minutes. And then you have sort of the rest of the end to try to think about, okay, how do we score 2? So as long as you're not spending a lot of time, thinking about those first 4 shots, maybe even first 5 shots, you can bank yourself a lot of time. And it looks like the pace of play's been pretty good as far as the leads being in the hack, ready to go at the start of an end. Looks like we're at the 5th end break on sheet A, also on sheet D.
But it's also the strategy of the team. I do know that there's a lot of teams out there that will play the clock. They have a set strategy in the first few ends, and then they change the strategy for the middle ends, and depending on what their time is, they'll go from there.
Right. Well, for sure, Team Fleming is known to use all of their time.
Yeah.
And again, you do have 38 minutes, and that's if you're playing a relatively uncomplicated game, by that 10th end, you should have at least
have
6 minutes, 7 minutes to go. So.
Well, in this case, they're below. I think Raju is playing below the pace.
The average time,
below the pace,
Because
for sure.
halfway through the game, you should have 19 minutes on the clock if you're using every bit of your time.
Right.
Yep. But now it's going to get into the, here we go, get by.
Just over the curve a little bit, and that seemed maybe a little tight. They certainly had enough.
Yeah, you put it out on the edge of the 12.
Enough room. And sometimes, newer curlers, and I think, Ryan, you and I spoke about this again the other night. They sometimes there's everybody, shoots 8 foot into the pin. But very few people practice, edge of 12 coming in, and sometimes moving that extra inch, like, Reagan, from Minnesota there. Remember, she put those lines on by the hack.
Yeah.
And the difference between shooting the 8 foot and the 12 foot is half an inch. But it seems like to a newer curler that you were just throwing out and you are 30 degrees off center and you're going to go right towards the wall. But it can be really intimidating for no real reason. But, you know, good players will, just like a good golfer, practice all of those shots.
And the other thing is also, if the offensive strategy for having hammer is to use corner guards, you need to be able to do the inside out to successfully execute a corner guard strategy.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, the leads in the game, you know, for years, you know, all of the newer rinks would put the worst person, you know, let's say it's a relatively new team, they put the worst person as a lead. And that's horrible. You know, the lead is so important.
Well, it looks like Raju's going to do a little hit and roll.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do a little
If
cleanup
he's
here.
successful, he's definitely going to be putting some pressure on.
They gotta do something because they don't have the hammer. They don't
No,
want to
they
give out 2 or
don't.
3.
He needs a nice roll on this one.
Stick around.
Oh.
That's very good. That's going to hang on for shot rock.
Oh.
Can you see
Yeah.
it on the other side though? Is it poking out at all? Nope. All right. Well, that's a nice roll.
That was a nice shot from Raju.
Looks
Yeah.
like they're gonna. Looks like it's fairly covered. You know, the opportunity here. You know, if Bob gets that a little bit too much on the high side, it could jam on that back
I'm
red.
seeing the jam. Because where are you gonna? I mean, if you skinny that guard, and with that broom, if he knows it, it's going to be okay. But if he's just a touch heavy, and like you said, the jam's looking like it's going to happen.
And really, you know, if Bob, you know, sets us in a little bit, or if it overcurls and touches that high guard,
Yeah.
then Raju's got to make a decision. Does he loop one in again, which he should.
Yeah,
Try to put
for
one
sure.
maybe on the back of that shot
Yeah.
2 on the back 8.
Here we
Shots
go.
away. We think it's gonna clear that guard. Looks like it will. Is it gonna curl enough? It doesn't.
all right.
It does
That's
the job.
okay, though.
Does the job. That
Now
we're back
gives
to
Raju
sitting.
another chance for a draw.
Sitting. Now it's
Yep.
a little scary. Look at you've got 4 red counting stones.
Yeah. This shot's going to make the game.
So yeah, you need to put one
No, what are you doing?
T-line behind cover.
Sorry, I said that out.
T-line behind cover. This is a huge shot. You don't want to give up before going to the 5th end break.
Even if he hits this and rolls over to the back 8, red is still sitting on.
Well,
There's no way he can get shot right.
I know what they're thinking here. They're thinking we need to maybe do some damage control.
Yeah.
You know, throw a high hard one, clear out 2. But the only problem here is of course, if he makes it, you know, I'll shut up. But if he doesn't make it, it's going to be a draw for 3 or 5.
Yeah.
And if he hits it and rolls up, it's going to be a draw for 3. So it's.
I think this is where Raju needs to take a look at the scoreboard
Looks like
and don't let the game get away from him.
Yeah.
If he draws in, be confident in your draw.
Yeah, he had that nice draw on the other
Yeah.
end, so he's got the draw
Yeah.
game. We've already seen him, you know, throw a little bit too hard.
I'd
2
put it
ends
in
ago.
just left of the center line, top 4.
Yeah.
He's trying to hit and roll.
Under a bunch of cover, it negates the counters in the outer ring.
Yeah.
And that would, there's kind of, you try to look at a risk assessment and also look at the probability of making the shot.
Yes.
And what the outcome is if you miss the shot.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do the draw to the top of the house, you know, if you're a little heavy, it goes to the back. That's not too bad. It's not totally great. If you're short, you know, it could be open.
Leave it here for a second.
He's-
See-
No,
shots going on.
it's already on its way.
So it's got to be pretty shallow.
Got 1. He's rolling. He's going to roll
All the way.
through.
All right. So now Bob has a chance to
4.
draw for 4.
And that's again that's the risk. That's
Yeah.
absolutely the risk.
And also, it makes it. Also, you want to leave the harder shot for the other team.
Yeah.
And so, in this case, because it was a miss, now it's an easy shot.
Yeah.
Well, it's not an easy shot.
It's a draw.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know how to hit the 12-foot, but
had Raju come in and maybe left it, maybe not for shot, the top 8, you know,
and force the hit and roll,
yeah,
possibly
or jams.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of good.
Because
that
if
come
he
out of that.
drew in the other way, and if it was exposed, if Bob went after it, you had the other 2 that he was going for to possibly jam on it.
Right.
But I think that Shot Rock right now definitely would have been shot anyway.
Right, but there's a difference between giving up 1 or 2
And he went
versus
the,
this is the
went the
alternative.
inside out.
Yeah, and you're already down, you know, 1 rock, and now the.
Come on, sweep it all the way through.
That's
Nice shot.
Bob's
All
really
right,
not
so
gonna miss
4
those.
red.
So 4 red, big end for Team LeClair going to the 5th end break. The Team Raju is going to have to get some food in their belly and forget what just happened. It's rally time for Team India.
Time to bring it.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a tour of the club over here?
Sure. Sure.
You can pause that, right?
Yeah, there's a button on the side.
Okay, yellow. Right. All right, cool. I have to use the little boys' room.
All right, well, where should we start? How about, this is obviously our warm room. This actually used to be the factory that made the fuzz for the tennis ball pen. You walked in, there was a foyer, there was 4 offices right here, and this, where our ice shed is, that was the factory. That was the factory. So we got a little lucky when we got out here. We had to put in that wall there. We have another 10,000 square feet behind that wall if we needed to expand. But being that we were in the desert, we didn't know how much space we needed, so we wanted to make everything as compact as possible. We did the Florida glass windows because the windows needed to be the star of the show. We'll wait for the other teams to come off the ice before we go out there. If we go around this way here, we've got a couple beautiful little change rooms where athletes can come in and leave their gear and hang out. You can see we've had a lot of good talent here at the club. These are all, friends and players that have curled here over the years. We asked them not to just mail us a jersey, but they actually have to physically have been here to be on the wall. So, a lot of big names. You probably recognize most of them. And again, it's because we're in Phoenix, and we've got really great ice, really good atmosphere. So, teams, big names like to come here. Plus it never snows. And of course, here we've got the fabled Broken Broom Lounge, named appropriately because we've all been there where we've thrown the one shot and we just miss it by that much, and you might want to snap your broom or whistle it around. So we call this the Broken Broom Lounge. This is a safe space. There's been a lot of team discussions at this bar, so no upstanding respectable club would not have a bar. We do have a pro shop. We have a look here. We don't need to go all the way in, of course, but we've got. We try to make this kind of an easier area, for, let's say, Ashram, Dynasty, Old Line, Hard Line, Steve's Curling in Wisconsin. Try to make this a bit of a hub. So when any of the California teams come in, we're in the process right now of restocking it since we were down for COVID, but we try to make this a bit of a hub. So when teams come in, newer teams come in from California, Utah, Idaho, they can save a few bucks on shipping. We try to keep as much of the gear you may need for the beginner curler to the experienced curler. So we call this the Acme Curling Supply Store. So what else we got here? We got some bathrooms down on the far side. We've got some locker rooms there where a lot of the club members keep their gear. We can go over to this side here.
And you've been in this space how long?
This is our 6th year. 2015. This is where we get to watch a lot of the big TV. We've got a kitchen area here that's ready to go. This used to be, remember, a factory. So this is where all the guys would make their lunches and do whatever. We may at some point turn this into an actual working kitchen with a lot of stainless steel equipment, but right now it's a perfect size for bonspiel prep and getting ready for any kind of tournaments that we might have, bonspiels and whatnot. As we have there. Do we have time? Should we go and have a look?
Sure.
Watch the steps. Try not to get in these athletes' way. Go ahead. There we go. So we do have 4 sheets. We decided to go 4 because we've got these 4 cement pillars that we'd either have to go 6 or make it 4. And knowing what we know now, we would have liked to maybe extend the walls a little bit. But again, being the only club in a desert and in the Southwest, there's no book on how to create a curling club in the desert. So we had to, on paper, say, okay, when it's 120 degrees outside, how do we make this area 40 degrees, and how do we make our areas 20 degrees and withstand the highs and lows? So on paper, that's why we made it a little condensed. A lot of people say, well, where's your sideboards or where's your walkways? Well, we didn't have the ability to do that because the hydro, the electric, the plant in the summertime is expensive. So we went as small as we could. On the far side, we do have our plant. I'd like to give a shout out to Art Sutherland from Victoria, BC, Canada. He made our plant, and it's the Cadillac. I haven't quite figured out how to make a cappuccino, but it's the top of the line. We can actually go up to 10 sheets. It's scalable because we knew that we're going to start with 4. We want to maybe go to 6 or 8 sheets at some point when the time comes. We wanted a machine that was going to be scalable, and if let's say somebody comes in and gives us $3 million and we can make a standalone, kind of like Rock Creek or the Denver Curling Club, then we can take all of our cooling plant with us and take it out. So again, thank you for Art for all of that good work that he did. I think that's it. Let's go back in and see. It looks like a lot of the teams are back from their 5th end break, so let's go back to the action. Go back in the war room and follow the game.
And the warm room is really nice to watch the game.
Best place to watch the game.
Absolutely. So we should have
Sorry.
an update.
I meant the other way around.
I think I'm out of juice.
Oh. I got a juice.
Well, I'm back. It looks like Daryl's a little out of juice on his mic.
I need to plug in.
No, it's wireless.
Oh no, but this is box. Need to plug in for it to charge.
We can share a mic.
Yeah.
Well, the phone can also work as a mic.
Oh, okay. Very good.
This one's
Perfect. What's that?
That's what the phone's been doing.
Oh, okay. Good.
Nice little garn.
What do we got here? So around the sheet, 5-3 for Spangler. It's like 6-1 for
Siggins up is looks like 6-1, but it looks like they might. Looks like Red is sitting 2, so they might give up a couple, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And then what happened on sheet C? Do we have an update on C between Bassrack and Fleming? Can you see the scoreboard?
4-2 right now.
4-2 for Fleming.
Fleming. Okay.
It's a nice tight game.
Nice little draw right here behind the
Would
guard.
have been interesting to hear the team talk with the Bassrack rink last night.
Yeah.
Talking to Greg earlier, he did find a hot tub, and he says he might have had a little bit extra fire water, so maybe that's what's loosened him up today.
Hot tub, fire water. Yeah. I mean, it's good for the joints, I hear.
It is good for all the joints. So it looks like here on our feature game, we've got. Looks like Raju was trying to get the stacked corner guards, but didn't come over enough. Looks like Bob's sitting 3 in the house.
I think this looks like it might get by, but
We'll get by, but we'll stick around. stick around, kind of.
Yeah, but it's going to poke it out a little bit.
Yeah, rolled into the open. We do have now, getting back to that jam potential, you got to be really careful.
Yeah.
You want to try to get it as close to nose as possible.
So what would you do? Would you do a heavy draw, sit on it?
If I was red, if I was LeClair,
Yeah,
I'd get that out of there. Because you're up by 4 or 5 points. You don't need any more points. Get all the yellow out of there and force Raju to not score 2.
But is there a potential jam?
Yeah. You could hit it a little high, a little low, and get it through the port.
So that looks like it's a little wide. Oh, no, it's coming in.
There we go.
All right.
So it's going to be hit and roll time for Raju. Oh, he's just calling a freeze.
Interesting.
Well, if it's a draw tap, if it's like a little heavy online, he could push that red back and create a pocket.
Yeah, but not much though.
No.
Yeah.
But he for sure he could tap it back. Yeah, that's a good point, Ryan.
Yeah, if he can just get on the inside of it and just a couple of inches, I think it would be okay. Oh, you got a hand up. It's got a curl.
It's gonna over curl. He's got to go for line. Yeah, he's got to go for line.
The weight's pretty good.
He's gonna rub.
Over curled. So he might have set it or just a little light. But it doesn't look like it was light for sure. Let's see here. So
Just a quick reminder that this broadcast is presented by the authority of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. If you wanted to do a dramatic reenactment using Shakespearean actors, we might not stop you. But please enjoy the game. We're glad you're here.
to wit.
A nice little hit and roll, but I still see something that Raju can do.
Well, they can throw the exact same shot because now they have 2 rocks that they can close up on.
But also for LeClair, he does like a force is a win in his book, essentially.
Totally, yeah, totally. Yeah, so
Going back to the Shakespearean thing, I mean, I only do that if I'm standing.
Shakespeare on the Ice is coming to Coyotes Curling Club next summer.
Yes, yeah, we'll have to find something. The costume designers have to find
Costume
something
is going to be the big thing, yeah.
Yeah, with feathers and felt, that's going to be a big mess.
A Midsummer Night's Curl.
Very good.
There's our new summer spit.
That's it. Don't let Gamboa hear you say that. He's going to make a poster for you in 2 seconds.
Oh, there we go. Look at this. Look at this.
Ooh,
Good
looking
shot.
good.
Good shot. You do have the opportunity to just punch that through the middle, but it's got the job. Catching.
I
on
mean,
one of those
Red's
reds
still
there.
shot, so, I mean, what is he going to do?
You could even be, if you're Bob, you could ask Fred to hit that with a lot of heat. Even if you kill the yellow and 1 red, you're still laying 3.
I would say get rid of everything. I mean, you're 7-2.
A messy house is not normally in favor of someone with a decent sized league.
No, you can.
You just get rid of everything.
Yeah, fortunately, the mess in the house is predominantly red. So Fred's calling. Is it over curling?
Calling it hard.
Oh, and it just catch the guard.
Ooh.
This is going to allow Raju to put another one in there.
Yeah.
And even this is where Ryan, you almost want to play your tap. If you could tap that shot 2 back to either the one either one left or right.
Yeah, either one.
And you might
Yep.
be able to sneak out
There you go.
2 out of here.
That's what he's calling. Like that little tap.
And luckily Lara was just through this rock, so he should have the same.
Yeah, it should be
feel
the
for it.
same, yeah. Oh,
Looks like it's a little inside, so
yeah,
better go
looks
for
like
line.
he
Better go for
put
line.
the broom on the inside.
Yeah, so again, they're young men on
But
it.
it looks like it's coming down nice, though.
Might
Even
go
if he was a
curls.
foot narrow, it's still looking like, oh,
No, line's good.
oh, oh.
Hit the wrong rock, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit his own.
Yes, this is an interesting setup right now. If Bob doesn't, well, Bob for sure will do this right. I don't know, but if he doesn't, this could. There's two still on the table for Raju.
Yeah.
A must
A must.
too. To keep in it, and even just from an emotional, standpoint, it'd be big to get that deuce. Kind of let the boys know, hey, we're still in it. We can do this. Get a little bit of momentum back in their favor.
So I think Bob will take his time and do the right shot.
No, it's not going to curl a whole bunch. Looks like they're calling on and off. Tom and Jeff doing their best.
That noses it.
Indeed, it jammed the best.
So this is a good opportunity for Raju to get two. All he's got to do is hit that shot rock a little bit on the low side and just kick over and just, even if you just touch that rock that's in the 4 foot, the shot 2, just kick it back enough so that your yellow on the left-hand side counts. So there's a 2 here. They don't have to overtalk. They don't have to overthink it.
Now for Raju, he has 2 shots. So is it a matter of just making sure that he is setting up his, like, is this going to be a setup shot for his last shot, or does he need to? Does he try to, like, I don't know what I'm asking actually.
Yeah, no. Does he want to go for the 2 now or set something up?
Yeah.
He could try to freeze right there
At the top of the button.
Yeah, or push back that, or push back that shot rock just to the back 4, and then see what Bob does. But the only thing, you don't want to give Bob the ability to get that second yellow out. So
So I guess the question would be: do you go in now because if Bob could put up a guard or like close the door in some way, you don't want to be trying to make
that's
a miracle shot for your last.
yeah,
Execution is everything.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, I think if it was me and the scoreboard being what it was, I would be trying to get those 2 reds out, because you still do have the shot that Richard just threw is protected on the jam from that rock that is biting the 4 foot. So that left rock, the yellow rock right at the center line, is protected. So you don't really need to worry about that one right now. So make the best you can with the 2 reds.
It looks like Bob's only got 1 left, right?
Yeah.
So
2 stones. Raju's throwing his first.
Raju did, like what Daryl was saying. I mean, if you just nub the one on the left.
Well, he needs to hit the shot and just roll over.
Yeah.
Just got to kick that other one out.
Then it's going to force Bob to, throw a draw to keep him to 1?
Probably hit.
Maybe clear it.
This is going to be close.
Okay, here it comes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Not bad. If Bob hits this,
Like right in the crotch.
well, he can't hit in the crotch. But if he hits the yellow shot rock, he is going to set up a relatively easy double for Raju to get 2.
So ultimately a pretty good shot from Raju to set this last rock to the end.
I mean, it would be a little difficult for Raju to do it, but it depends on what Bob's going to do.
And you got to be careful too. You've got the other jam on that back rock that's in the back 8 foot.
And with that broom, that's what it looks like he's going to do. And if he thins it, yellow's going to jam on the 2 reds. Shooter's definitely going to go.
It's exciting. Let's see what happens here.
We might have a game after this.
Super's going really hard for LeClair's last. Got the 1.
Yeah.
Stuck around, and so it looks like that double is there.
It is there. Yeah.
And
And he's got to hit the double. Like he's got to hit the double,
You
and
have to hit it just right, because if you hit the left rock first and like roll onto the center rock, the center red, could it jam on the?
I don't
yellow?
think so.
Okay.
I think the best shot right now would be to crotch it.
yeah,
Because they're both gone. I think the yellow is high enough to where the reds
Goes
aren't
underneath
going to
it.
touch it.
Yeah.
And if you try to crotch it, it gives you a bigger target.
Yeah, they got to watch though that they don't hit that left rock because it's gonna roll out of the forefoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because then that takes that red, puts it into play that shot 4.
The shot might be trickier than I thought it was, because if you hit the shot rock, like maybe like a little, like you hit it in the wrong spot, you might just squirt that out.
Totally. Yeah, exactly right.
And only getting the one.
Yes. Yeah. This one is
Wow, that is curling. Look at that.
wow.
So it wedged the one out.
Oh, and he wedged it out. Yeah.
So again, that's
One?
Just one.
One yellow.
One yellow. Yeah. Again, another missed opportunity. They're fist bumping, so they're happy with it for sure. But it
just
was nice to get to.
also just as we were talking, like there were certain ways that double or the double attempt could go awry, and unfortunately we saw
Yeah.
one
Right.
of those.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. They're talking about it now to see. Maybe Raju's thinking that the one rock doesn't like it. I guess. Yeah, it would have been nice to get the deuce.
So, another friendly reminder that live streaming of this and other regional competitions is powered by the 18 clubs and 1,500 members of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association, known as MoPac to its friends. Our mission serves to grow curling and foster competition in Arizona, California, Idaho, Nevada, Oregon, and Utah. Visit mopacca.org today to find a curling club near you or for help starting a club in your community.
Absolutely. No truer words have been said. All right, so we should see here centerline guard. Raju's got to be their team goal is to be heavy on the hard on the steel.
Yeah, I would say right now I would go start thinking, when you're down a few with the last couple ends, you want those 2 and 3 guards up front to try to steal. I would start doing it now. I mean, there's still plenty of ends to play, but it's time to play really aggressive to get back into the game. Because if they play conservative and just try to steal one, the score and the ends are just slowly going to disappear.
Agreed. Yeah, and Ryan, our producer, has pointed out, Raju's times just better than 11 and a half minutes, so you're going to have to think a little quicker.
That is 3 minutes per end.
And that's one of the things that what curling is going to start turning into is the thinking time.
They did it wrong.
Nope.
And that's another thing about some of these different levels of experience for these teams, is that some of these teams haven't played in a timed competition before. And so that's part of the learning experience.
That's exactly
And I
right.
think that's I think with a playdown to go to club nationals, until there is the regional playdown, most clubs don't even practice thinking time. They don't get the times out. So when they come to a regional like this, and it's like, whoa, okay, I think we're playing really well.
Right.
And then they look up at the clock and go, dang,
Yeah, we're time
we're
going.
down 3, and the other team's got 4 minutes on us.
Right.
So it starts getting into that mental aspect of it.
Yeah, and you start rushing, you start making maybe unforced errors a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's when I've been at every timed Worlds that I've ever been to, if I've got more minutes than the other team, I'm happy.
And also for Team Raju, they're in a very tricky situation because they're chasing, and it might be too late in the game to do the force 1, take 2, or force 1 score deuce,
Right,
force
right.
1 steal deuce, because it's a 4-point game.
4-point game.
It's a 4-point
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, they're gonna have to start taking more risks now. So a lot of
Yeah.
rocks in play, a lot of
And
angles
they're
to
down on
consider.
the time.
Down on the time, yeah.
I mean, it's been a great game so far for the most part, except for that one end where it's just like a little couple judgment calls that
Yeah.
didn't go the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been close. So it looks like they're opting to come around, and
And
that's
sit on it, it looks like.
yeah, and that's the typical call.
Yeah.
Come around, just sit on it.
Just as another note about the competitive rules that we're playing under, already forgot. No. Oh, so no. So talking about the difference between club play and competitive play, because this does lead to a berth in U.S. Nationals. We're playing 10 end games, which is way more than what you'd play in the club.
Oh, absolutely. For a lot of these clubs this weekend, they've already played half or 2/3 of a season.
Yeah.
Especially if you come from an arena club where you have just one night, 1-2 hour slot. This is a lot of curling.
Yeah, you're happy to get 6 ends in on arena ice.
Right. Yeah, because you got to set it up for yourself. You got to set your hacks. You got to pebble, nip, mop if you have that apparatus. Yeah.
So 10 end games. However, teams can choose to resign if they feel like the game's gotten out of hand, which is one of the great things about curling, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've all been there when it's just not your night. You're not having any fun, and you can't make a shot to save your life. So it's good to be able to just throw the white flag and say, you know what, you guys win. Let's go buy you a drink.
I mean, there's something to be said for trying to tough things out. If you're in a situation where it's like, let's tough it out, let's work on some fundamentals. But and I've been on the wrong end of an 11-0 or an 11-1 game, and it's like, you know what, we're done.
Right.
Handshakes or broom taps or whatever we're doing
Thanks
these
for the
days.
lesson. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Sometimes you just have to, when you're on that end of the stick, it's like, oh, let's stick it out and
Nice
keep
double.
practicing. Very nice
Nice
shot.
double from LeClair. I don't know if they had cleared a guard there, but I think
Bob cleared the guard before that shot there.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So
then that's why there were the 2 yellows were there.
Okay. So yeah. So Team Raju should have thrown to replace that guard then.
Yeah, they were right on top of each other, and then Bob just cleared them.
They're not in necessarily a bad situation this end because they're sitting second shot right now. It looks like they're maybe trying to draw onto the center shot rock.
Well, they're trying to throw up it looks like Raju just indicated a centerline guard, which isn't, I think, not I guess, maybe we missed that when we were just talking a second ago. They should have thrown that centerline guard. It doesn't matter, it's heavy.
Well, I would have thought to come in just because you can maybe tap that back later.
It's too soon right now.
Yeah.
If you're Bob will take us 1 point all day, being up 4. But if you're Raju, you need a guard in play. Like you can't steal without a guard. And there's that high red guard, but that's you typically don't want to hide around an opposition stone.
And again, when you're up a sizable number, you want to try and
Look
keep
at
it
that.
as clean a house as possible.
That's some good living by the LeClair ring. You see
Yeah,
that
right
they
there.
hit that yellow and they move both. That's like a Jacob shot where they hit both those 2 reds over closer behind cover.
And that's the thing. I think Raju is, if everything goes right. I mean, Bob's plan to just clear everything out, but with the scoreboard and what end it's in, I think Raju needs to not try to steal 1. He needs to work something to get, 2 or 3.
Right.
He executed the double. No, sorry, one of the reds stuck around.
Yeah. But so now if you're Bob, you hit that yellow. You've got now a perfect situation where you've
Yep.
got the sheet split.
Split.
So
And
twos,
you have hammer.
And you got the hammer. So 2's on the table. If you're Team India, you don't have any guards to hide behind. You're going to be looking to freeze, and as we talked about the other night, freeze is the hardest shot in curling. So
Patty Link says. Love Patty, if you're listening.
yeah, well, there's lots of stats to go behind that. So and this
Oh, and a
one
little
just-
flyby.
Ooh.
All right.
Well, no,
That
looks like a
kind
flash.
of went by that flash by about 6 inches or so.
yeah, it did. Yeah.
So there's an opportunity now.
Yeah, and you can see they've obviously seen the clock. You see Raju running now.
Yeah.
So
What does the clock say?
it was 10 and a half minutes.
Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah,
10.
10-10. All right. Oh, you still got plenty of time.
But he's a stiff stone, so if he gets through this with about a minute remaining, or in about a minute, he'll have 3 minutes again for the remaining 3 ends. If the game goes the distance.
But it wouldn't be bad having an extra 2.5, 3 minutes added to that clock if we're in the 13-minute mark.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want 2.5 minutes?
This.
Also, teams do have a timeout because there's fifths in the field that can go out into the ice and render their advice. Teams have 90 seconds when it would ordinarily be
I'll
60
count the
seconds.
red. I'll count the red, and you're looking good.
There you go. That's a good
Nice shot.
by Raju.
All right. See, now it's half exposed. If they go after it, possible jam.
And so right now, just anecdotally, I've seen him throw 2 or 3 good draws
Yeah.
and maybe 1 pretty good hit. So,
Yeah.
so if you're the coach looking at this, you probably say, you know what, Raju, when you get the opportunity, draw. Don't go for these hits. Hits are cooler. You were talking about the other night. Hits are going to be on the highlight reel.
Hits are highlight reel, yes.
You know what does Polo say? Hit for show, draw for dough.
Yep.
The other thing is also like a lot of modern curling strategy is to set up an end so that the skip has a draw to the butt.
Yeah.
And so, but that also means the skip has to be able to execute the draw.
That is the final piece. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that's
Here
what
we
caught
go.
Kevin Martin off guard in the 2002 Olympics.
Yes.
He was heavy on his draw.
Yes.
Is it gonna jam? Nope. Wide open.
That's a,
All right.
So yeah, Raju's got to hit
Flip
it over
over,
again
yeah.
now and force Bob to draw. We've
I
seen.
like forcing Bob to draw.
Yeah. And again, I think I forget if Ryan you said it or Pat, but you certainly want to give the opposing skip the harder of the shots.
Yeah.
It seems like.
I mean, a draw is easy, but draw against 2 is hard.
True.
It's mental,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. All that adrenaline kicks in. And,
Well, and there's been great drawing teams, and sometimes they're criticized for being a little boring. In terms of like, you're just drawing. Like, where's the flashy hits and everything?
right.
Colleen Jones, I think,
Yeah.
kind of got that moniker or tag, I guess. I wouldn't-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, here we go. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, nice, easy. See, that's a nice
little
way.
hit,
That's
and it should flip right over on top.
Yeah,
There you go.
sitting 1-2.
All right,
Team
1 or 2.
Raju.
Bob's got to draw against 2.
That's all he has to do.
That's it.
What do we say about that? Yeah, all you gotta do is hit the paint.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you're very specific. Yeah. So again, Bob will take 1, all day. It might be a win, in Raju's books because he did hold, LeClair to 1. But with the scoreboard being what it is, Raju in this next end has to get the deuce.
This is Team LeClair's last here in the
It looks like they go for a hit.
or the 7th. I know what number it is. And the hit is executed. Is going to roll towards the center and sits
1
around
red.
for 1.
Very good.
So it was a force.
Yep. Yep.
And also, just looking at the scoreboard, maybe just kind of focusing on the fundamentals, where you might not win this game, but can we successfully execute solid, sound curling strategies?
And the fundamentals, yeah.
Like force a good team to just the 1,
Yeah.
and maybe try and get the hammer back.
Yeah.
And Raju does have the hammer in even ends, which is an advantage. I mean, maybe something could happen this game.
Absolutely. This would be good where the curling gods smile down and give them 3. But for sure, we're going to really be looking at playing a very technical game, getting the corner guards out there. Bob will probably put this one right in the rings. Raju's going to do the corners. Bob will probably put another one top 3. Raju's going to have to try to fight that and either throw up a corner or.
Just to go around the rings to start the 8th end. It looks like on sheet A we have the game between Team Tate and Team Spangler and Team Tate. And it looks like Red was in the lead. It
Yeah,
looks to be
7-6.
7-6 in the 8th. The B sheet, as we mentioned, is our feature sheet.
Okay.
Updating the feeds here. Multitasking. It is.
No, it's all good.
The future.
Sorry about that. I had to step away. My daughter Andy's in Madison, Wisconsin for the junior spiel there. And looks like she's doing good. She's 1 game away from the finals. She's a fellow Coyote curler. She's just sitting there kicking butt in the juniors.
So she is the game between
Basrack and Fleming.
Yeah, Team Fleming with the Redstones, Team Basrack and Park City with the yellow. Looks like Fleming has opened the game up. Looks like 7 for red, and can't quite see the other score.
Okay.
Lots of bodies in the way.
Sure.
But on sheet D, we have the game between Team Mendoza from Hollywood and Team Siggins from Coyotes. And this one looks to be Siggins 6-2-3.
Okay. Well, still within reach.
And these games, there's been games where it's been pretty lopsided, and these have been relatively close this morning.
They have been. Yeah, they have been. But it's good to see, and I think it's just everybody, gelling, to the ice, to the rocks, the environment, and getting just settled. So, nice shot. Got two in the ring. So Raju could either hit and roll or just draw around that corner guard. A lot of teams, that's where they mess up. They put a corner guard and then they never use it.
Yeah.
So put it there for a reason.
Well, sometimes you never did a chance to use it.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta believe in the corner guard.
Looks like they're trying to get around it. It doesn't look like it's got enough weight.
Well, let's buy it, but as long as it's touching the rings, buried.
It's about a fifth, less than a fifth buried, but not quite touching.
Yeah, it's not touching.
So really quickly, we have another draw tonight at 5:30 p.m.
That'd be exciting.
And then we're going to wrap things up tomorrow morning with one final draw in the round robin, and then tiebreakers if necessary. Tonight's games include Siggins versus Fleming.
That should be a good game.
We got Basrack versus Mendoza.
I'd be close too.
We've also kind of identified Raju versus Spangler as our feature sheet game. It's going to be a battle of Northern California.
Boom, boom.
We got Raju from Lake Tahoe and Spangler of Wine Country. So that's going to be bragging rights on the on
Well,
the
I
line.
think everything in Northern California is boom boom.
And then the sheet D game is going to be Team Tate versus Team LeClair.
I think that might be the game to watch.
Tate LeClair.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be because both. Well, no, Tate is dropped 1, so they're 3-1.
Yeah, they're 3-1, but if they pull this off, it's 4-1.
Yeah.
Mike's looking good over there. So it could be.
Looks like they just between the Fleming and the Basrack ring. Looks like there's handshakes on C. So
Oh, all right.
it's pool time for the guys from Park City.
When it was snowing just before they left, or no, just after they left.
I think it's a balmy 74 out there today, so I'm sure they'll put on some SPF 50 and go sit out and get some sun.
Yeah.
But no, I want to certainly thank Greg and his ring for coming down and attending the MoPac Playdowns.
Yeah.
It's always good to see. Their goal for this weekend was to come down and learn. They adamantly said they weren't worried about the scoreboard. Just wanted to come down, play as a team. This is the first team. Actually, all 4 of them have played together. Greg and one other of his team, Lowe, I believe, play in the league together up at Park City. So again, you got to come down. You got to get your nose kind of bloodied a little bit to learn. And again, everybody's been really gracious and working with them and not making them feel inferior, which is the beauty about curling and kind of to the point
Yeah,
you put that.
and that's the best thing about curling. When you're up and coming, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right.
And in the true spirit of curling and all that, you get the other teams to answer the questions that the other team has truthfully, and it helps people grow.
So it looks like Raju had wanted to try and move those reds off of the center of the house, the top center, and it looked like it was a flash, unfortunately.
It was a flash, yeah. And again, you can get into a chasing game and you can you can quickly lose. Like there was nothing. You know, what was he? He's right in trying to clear obviously a path of the 4 foot. Could he have tried to hit maybe the rock that's just nibbling the 8 foot? So now if you're Raju, you gotta go. So he is putting a rock in place. So I'm excited to see that. This is what he needs to do. This is, he put that guard there for a reason, and now we're finally using it. We should have probably used it 2 stones ago.
Yeah, and that's the thing I think on some of the younger curlers, that they play what they think they need to do when they're down. I don't have hammer, I want to try to steal, so they throw up the corners. But I think in the last couple ends, I think Raju is it going to rub?
Good, no.
But it's going all the way through.
It's a touch heavy.
It might stand, but I think that's where they lose. They're so focused on trying to get to with the corners and so forth, but then they forget what the scoreboard says. And so they lose track of that. And when they do, they make it their 1, but 8-3, 1 isn't going to do anything for you.
Yeah, well, there's I know you've done a lot of coaching. I've done
Another
a lot of
flash,
coaching.
this time from Team LeClair.
Yeah, and that's okay too. Like Raju, at some point, doing the corners fine. He could even come around those. Because those reds are staggered.
The gaps
enough,
are there, yeah.
So he could put something top of the button and force Bob to clear out. If Raju can't hit those reds, maybe Bob can.
Well, and LeClair is in a great situation because they're sitting 2 at the top of the house,
right.
some distance separating them.
Yeah. He's
There's a
saying,
heavy
"Come get
shot.
me." He was like, "Come get me." Yeah, Team India for sure. So this is, Richard's got.
Looks like he's going to come.
Looks like they're
through
sweeping for
the
line.
gap,
Looks like they're sweeping for line. It doesn't look like it's.
It's coming over.
Is it going to sit though? It's going to sit.
Looks
Like it's going to come all the way down to the back one.
Yeah, about the same weight as the last one. This line's a little less ice or more ice, I forget which.
Probably a hair more ice and a little less weight because that was a good 6 feet too heavy.
Yeah.
So he should have thrown it to the sweepers, but the sweepers looked like they were sweeping it right from the get-go. So Richard may have pinched it. It looks like he's shaking his head a little bit. He knows that was an important shot. Needed to get that to the tee line. So again, if you're Bob, you're like, just keep doing what you're doing. Even if they hit that. With Raju being unsuccessful getting one behind that corner guard, you can almost leave that corner guard there.
Yeah.
So
Well, Bob looks like he's sitting 2.
Yeah,
He is.
So looks like he's just going to draw in and force Raju to do
Well, I
something with his last rock.
I think he, Bob's apex mammal. He smells the blood in the water here, so I think he's trying to maybe put the final blow.
I think he's getting ready to, if he does his shot right here, I think he's thinking that the game's over.
Yeah, I agree. If he puts the top 4, top button.
I would ask, like, if you're down a bunch, and I've as a very rookie skip, I've been down a bunch, but like, when do you kind of decide to go all in and then decide it's going to be this or we're going to be done?
Well, now would be sort of that situation. The last end only getting the 1. This end, you should be going for a 2, and they're struggling to try to get anything kind of cooking. So this might be that end where you say, you know what, we're going to throw everything we got at it. The execution. The LeClair team's been throwing, high 70s. I would guess, maybe even
Easy.
easy 80s. The Raju rings probably at 60%, 65%. So, if you just can't match the other team out there, you might just say, you know what, it was a good run. We did what we could. They still have a game tonight that they really need to win, because remember, Raju's 2-2.
Yeah.
So if he goes to 2 and 3 after this game. He has the potential to end back at 500. You know, which is, and maybe that was their team goal.
Is
when
that
they
going to
got
get
here.
to the playoff? Yeah, exactly. What is the goal?
Right. You know, maybe that was their plan to say, let's just get to 500 in this playdown.
So it looks like they all have a draw.
It
They
looks
have
like
to.
you draw, yeah.
They have to. They can't hit their way out of it now. They got to try to get something behind the cover. The only issue is the placement. Looks like it's going to overcurl.
If it just around the guard or the top red.
Oh.
Sit down. It's a nice shot.
All right. There you go.
The only problem is that we taught Bob a few years ago the gear effect. And so you got a little bit of gear, and that's what Fred's looking at right now. Yeah, you got gear effect up to about 1.5 inches. And I can't see how close those are, but they
Those
are
look really close.
very close. On the overhead, I think there's going to be the opportunity for a little bit of gear. So Bob is just going to have to hit that just 1/3, almost right where those kind of black marks are on that rock. If he hits it there, there's a really good chance that yellow is going to go out the door, and that's
And
obviously.
if it does, then
Well, then to be sitting 4.
yeah.
Well, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 because that
Maybe
top.
four. No,
top
the back
top,
yellow
I think
looks
the back
like
yellow
it's
gets
out
some.
counting the one on the top. Yeah.
That's an exciting shot. So all you scientists out there, let's watch this shot here. And of course, if they're locked on, you get gear effect for sure. Let's be close.
And from scientists, I'm sure Stephen Hawkins is watching above. Freddie's
it.
sitting there.
That's it.
There you go.
That's it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a nice shot.
I'm gonna get Bob to buy me a drink for that.
Well, you taught him everything he knows.
Well, I taught him that one.
Wait, he's older than you, right?
We specifically had a good.
So now Team Raju facing 4 has
I
a
would,
pretty
yeah.
tricky draw, or maybe a hit and stick. They're going for the draw.
It's 8-3. I'd like to see the draw down.
Well, he's got to draw that port.
Yeah,
He's gotta
draw through
that
the port, tap it back, get the 1, and then pull up the big boy panties and go for 3 on the next end.
Or still at least 2. Yeah.
Yeah, don't give up.
And you can be a little heavy here, of course, because you can roll a bit to the right.
Yeah,
You just can't rack on that front guard and push it in.
yeah, it looks like he's by it.
Starting
Come
to
on.
curl, it's breaking.
There you go.
All right, get it by, get it
Just
by,
by
get it
the
by,
guard.
get it by, get it by, get it by. Nicely done.
Tap
Very
on,
nice.
All right.
tap on the red and sit
Now
right
that
on
was
the
a
lid.
shot.
There we go. That's
All right.
game saver.
So they want to keep going.
Yeah, keep going. What's wrong with you guys?
What's the time that we got?
They just 7 minutes
6. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, 6 minutes. 6 minutes 9 seconds.
for 2 ends.
Ooh, that's gonna be quick. With the time. Okay, there you go. Yeah, that might be the saving.
Where's their
grace.
coach?
He was down 4 minutes. He made it down 4 minutes.
Yeah, picked it up great with that. He's jogging now between shots.
Team LeClair has over 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're on easy street. Yeah, and again, they're in the driver's seat. All the risk and all the reward has to be now from.
Yeah,
from
Raju
yeah.
needs to really pick it up.
Yeah,
I mean, right now, it's go for broke.
yeah. To your point, Ryan, that this would be a time where you would, center line guard, and then start looping them all around and trying to get as many rocks as you can, get them play, go all in. Because getting
I
one is
almost
not
would
going to.
put 3 guards up.
Well,
Against LeClair, yeah.
yes, statistically,
you
all you
got
need
to.
is 2 if you're trying to steal, right?
Yeah, but you gotta steal more than 1. You gotta steal 2.
Or you guys,
3 guards, steal 2.
Set diet, all right? Okay.
Don't be in. There we go. Nice
Oh,
opening
there you go,
shot.
nice and tight.
Also not biting because it seemed like LeClair, they would take advantage of any rock in the house.
Every day. Yeah, they'll hit that out right now. Yeah, absolutely. So you could even, you could even play the
looks like
tick
he's-
here. Play
Yeah,
the
what
tick.
do you think about that tick rule? Okay,
I like it.
yeah, you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good little. Well, they've been doing it for 20 years. Steve Gould.
Yeah, no, but no, I'm saying, what do you
The
think
center
about
tip.
their changing the rule?
So
wow.
just to recap, the World Curling Federation is proposing at the men's and women's after the Olympics, 3 rules changes. One of them is a per end time.
Yep.
The other one is no extra end in round robin play. It's just going to be like hockey shootout rules, where there's going to be like a draw to the button to see who will get a 2 points versus 1 point, and then an outright win is 3 points. And then the final proposed rule change is that during the free guard zone, if you have a guard on the center line, the opposing team cannot dislodge that guard, that center line guard, until after the 5th rock to the end.
Right. Yeah, well, teams are getting so good with that tick, being able to just move it at will, no matter where it is out there. I don't know. I think the good teams. Well, there we go. There's a nice. There's the
Sean
2
Murray
guards
is
we're looking for.
sliding out like a bullet.
Time to make a lot of things go boom. Yeah.
So what do you think of those rules there, Mr. Horseman?
I think it's maybe a little too quick to change the tick rule personally, because that's only been, they've been playing around on the slam events for a little bit, where you can't dislodge it. But I don't know. I think it's all about how to make curling more interesting to TV viewers.
I agree with you. Being on the AC, I hear everything from everybody, and it truly is, from all the way up to the higher ups of the WCF. It is truly becoming a TV sport. The TV people are putting in so much money into everything, and their theory is that 10 ends, if I put my remote in my hand and I turn on the TV and it's already in the 3rd end and the score is this, they immediately think that it's over.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, that's the score. Well, it's over. But so that's why they're trying to change it to 8 ends, the new thinking time, and all of that. But yes, it is truly all TV.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna be I'm a little contrary or like just cranky, and say like we're trying to fit into a TV window, but they let NFL and college football take up as much bloody time as they want.
True.
It's like a college football game, which is supposed to be 60 minutes, does not need to be 4 hours. And as it turns to be so.
But you think about all the advertising dollars and what, like the scale of the money, the economics is just ridiculous.
And that's the thing, though. I mean, curling is not the football, it's not the baseball, and in other countries, the cricket, the soccer or football, or does anybody really want to watch Manchester United with commercials? No. They want to they want to watch their game.
Well, also soccer fits into a 2-hour slot very easily, because there's
the
no
TV timeouts. And
talk about a game that's okay with 0-0. Oh my gosh! You watch 2 hours of soccer to 1-0. Oof.
Although, speaking of sponsorship, if you or your business would like to become a sponsor for MoPac, our competitions, or our live streaming service, visit mopacca.org today and click on the contact link on the right-hand side of the page.
And then the question really is, why wouldn't you want to be a sponsor? A lot of the clubs in MoPac's a non-profit. It's a tax write-off. You can throw $500 or $1,000 easily to a sport that's, up and coming. So.
Also, we can teach a new generation about paw to shatter.
Yes. Yes. Oh, hey, Greg.
But I want to go back to what Daryl just said. He's Canadian, and he's been doing this for years and years and years. I've only been doing it for about 14 years. But you made the comment of up and coming. The bad thing about up and coming is that, yes, it's only been an Olympic sport for so long, but curling's been around for you know,
500
300,
years.
400 years.
Yeah, 500
You know,
some odd
almost
years,
as long as golf. So how is curling an up-and-coming sport when it's an amazing sport that confuses the average person?
You're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong. But as far as I guess it hasn't been mainstream, you know, as long as other games have been.
Well, and being in the Olympic program has made it mainstream.
Yeah.
Yes.
It can't be ignored when it's part of the Olympic program.
Well, it was an Olympic program back in 1924, and that's when they sent everybody who was a non-curler out to support curling. And I believe it was Scotland that actually fielded a 4-person curling team, and they won it that year. And then it took a long hiatus to 1988, right, where they did in Calgary.
As an exhibition sport.
Exhibition, yeah.
And there was an exhibition also in the France Olympics before Lillehammer.
Right.
Name escapes me. But Kevin Martin was at that one.
Yep. Yeah.
Also, half the ice melted apparently.
All right. So it looks like we've got a lot of guards out front. Looks like they're trying to get around and just hit that yellow out.
Yeah, it looks like Freddie's just going to clear that front one.
Trying to get around, aren't they? And over
No, it's
curl.
going to do that.
So now we need to see Raju hide another one somewhere. So now you got to get rocks in play. And Raju's down to just over 5 minutes. 5 minutes, pardon me.
Yeah.
Albertville.
Albertville.
How could I forget Albertown?
Right. You French linguist, you.
So now where are you going to put this, Daryl?
If it was me, I would put it on the
Because you're
right-hand
down.
side.
Yeah, but it's got to be in.
Biting
so,
the 8-foot
So
behind
you're
cover.
looking to try to steal at least 2.
Oh yeah. Or you could throw up a corner guard right now, but I think. Sorry.
But well, you're at Skip's Rocks.
You
So
could
it's
guard
time
it.
to just throw everything in and hope for the other team to miss.
Well, you don't actually have the hammer, so you need to guard. You need to guard.
Oh,
this.
Raju doesn't have the hammer.
Right.
Yes, that's
you
true.
Need you need a centerline guard.
But he still has to steal 2 because of the scoreboard.
Yeah, but again, if you steal one, you can death by 1,000 paper cuts, right?
Yeah. Look at Tom. He's a little out of breath, standing there like Thor.
There we go. Shot.
One thing in Team Raju's favor is that they have been playing fairly speedily these past couple ends.
Yeah,
now
they
now
have a
they're
lot of
back
time.
within the safe zone, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, they made up all that time.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
So now, if you're Bob, all you got to do is just make enough contacts. He's probably gonna throw something like a board weight.
You know, I almost wouldn't mind throwing up a guard and just letting Raju have one.
Or why don't you just
Close everything down.
Blank would be for sure. I think that's what they're trying to do. If they can come, if Bob even just throws a little bit, down weight control, just hits a third of that yellow, rolls out. Blank is perfectly acceptable to Team LeClair.
and carrying the hammer into the 10th, and
Yeah.
that would be essentially game over.
Well, 4 rocks in, and
Well,
then they would
even
probably
with a
shake
guard,
it.
it would
Once
be
they're
over.
mathematically out, then they would for sure do
It
that.
does trash on the
That just
guard.
clipped that.
So now, if
So
you're
now Raju's
Raju,
got a chance for 2.
yes, you got to put one just biting the 12. Just bite the 12 on the center line right there. Yes,
Well, that's
Raju.
why I was going with saying, if Bob just threw the guard, let Raju have 1, you're up 5
Yeah.
with 2 ends to go. What does it matter?
Yeah, I think it's about momentum. I think it's about making a statement. I think it's about keeping in control of the game. You're not wrong, but I think just saying
But
it feels clear.
I think that if you throw the guard and close everything off, you show the other team that you're in control. I'm up 5, and you
Yeah.
can't do anything.
And you can't do anything, leaving the harder shot to the other team,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Let them try to figure it out.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing, so you have to figure something out.
Wow. Wow.
So I said Team Raju's doing good on time. They are really thinking this shot through. I mean, they're still in a good zone in terms of timing, but they definitely took whatever buffer they had and ate it all up.
And it looks like they are. It looks like they are throwing that center line. Just touch the 12. They got to be shot 1 and 2.
Yeah, definitely 1 and 2.
They should be cleaning this to make sure there's no picks of any type.
Oh yeah, we don't want any of those. Looks good.
Looks
Just
like it's
walking
gonna
it down.
overcurl.
It's got to be in.
Oh.
Get behind that corner. Get behind that corner.
If you leave an opening, it's they left a big old port.
So it needed to be swept for both line and weight.
Yeah.
I don't know why they were trying to curl it. They were trying to get maybe a little. Maybe it overcurled. I'll give Raju the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it overcurled, but there was no need for him to go edge of full 12 behind cover.
Yeah.
When he's got one on the forefoot or touching the button. So if they're up by if they hit here, I would think there'd be a handshake.
Yeah. That looks good.
If he hits and sticks, handshakes. If they hit and roll out, it's a toss up.
Yeah.
They might throw them back, bring them back.
8-4. Yeah.
All right. Shots off by LeClair.
He looks happy.
Nice speed through the port.
Oh yeah, he's made it. Boop. Let's see what Raju does.
It's going to sit for 1.
And handshake. So
Yeah.
Team LeClair moves up.
Daryl, you must be a gypsy. You just saw that the future.
LeClair advances to 4-0.
Yeah.
Raju moves to
3 and 3.
2 and 3.
Or
2 and 3.
Yeah.
On sheets A, looks like we've got a couple more scores here. Looks like Spangler's up 10-7. Looks like they've stole the last couple ends, and it's actually it's tight
Oh
now.
wow, it's tight over there
up
on
6-6.
Yeah.
Against Mendoza Tate. So
A lot of sweeping going on right there.
yeah, it's important. It's important for Mike to or Team Cygnus to keep their streak alive as well.
Yeah, that'll put him right there in the playoffs. Bob has got it great, so we got 2 teams that are undefeated.
Well, so far. Well, for sure, Bob. We got to figure out what
Oh
happens.
yeah,
on
that's
the
true. We have
Cygnus
another
here.
end to go.
Yeah, well, this
Team
is the
Tate
last end.
seems
right?
to be fighting for their 4-1.
Yep. Yeah, this would help. Purely selfish speaking, this would help the standings if Spangler would come out victorious against Tate. Yeah, that would make the playoff picture a little calmer. But of course, we wish the very best for Tate. Sweep them as much as they can. Because right now Tate has to steal 2.
Yeah.
He needs 3 for the win, 2 for the tie. And he does leave a nice juicy double for Spangler. Here's Spangler.
See, you're taller than that, and I can't see any.
Interesting. Spangler must have the hammer. They're electing to come around the corners. That's
So-
interesting.
Just as a reminder, we have another game tonight at 5:30. And then another game tentatively set at 7:30, but depending on the tiebreaker scenarios, we might move it up.
Oh, okay.
So we'll break that down tonight. As the playoff or the tiebreaker picture will become more clear as we enter the next last draw tonight at 5:30. The feature sheet game is right now we're looking at Raju and Spangler. I think it'd be fair to show them. So
For sure. Yeah, for sure. It should be a good game. The where would the viewers find out if there's a third game tonight? Would that be on Bonspieler or on the MoPac Facebook page?
So we share the broadcast link on the MoPac Facebook page.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
But you did mention Bonspieler. We're about to sign off, but if you want live scoring updates, bonspieler.com is your one-stop shop for scores, provided that the scores come from here.
That's fair. But then again, if you go to Bonspieler, you don't get us.
No, you don't.
So-
I think this is the tag team right here that needs to just continue on tomorrow. I don't know if Daryl is old enough to get up that early in the morning.
Well, I'll have three bowls of Cocoa Pebbles and watching cartoons on
Do
Sunday.
you really eat Cocoa Pebbles?
No, I do not.
Okay, because I watch the Flintstones. Other than that, I don't know.
All right. So it
But
looks
yeah,
like
tomorrow
Spangler.
morning, me and Daryl, let's go.
Yeah, it looks like Spangler needs to do some rock'em sock'em here. Get
Yeah, there's a lot of rocks in play over there.
3 rocks. Yeah.
Looks like they're in their third stone, so we probably won't be able to stick to the end of that.
No. We'll have to watch it all on Bonspiel, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, you're the boss, man. You do whatever you want.
So we're about to sign off, but just thank you so much for tuning in. Also to thank Daryl and Patrick for being our announcers.
Yeah, thank you, and Ryan, for being an excellent producer,
Oh, yeah.
making the cameras.
He's
sing
the one
and-
that's made everything here happen. and
Absolutely,
Anybody out there, he's the man.
absolutely. Thank you.
Only mild profanity staying the camera set up this morning.
That's awesome.
So just as another quick reminder, this broadcast was presented by the authority of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association, and that includes marionettes or Muppets, FYI.
Oh dear. Yeah, we went from the baseball commissioner to the Muppets and the Marionettes.
Wow.
Wait,
They're getting
marionettes
serious.
have the
Yeah, they're getting
strings.
serious.
There's still a little hand, puppetry and stuff.
Yeah.
They have strings,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, they have
Okay,
strings,
I'm
yeah.
just double checking.
Totally understand. All right.
All
well,
right.
We'll see you all back for the 5:30 game.
All right, yes. 5:30. Wait,
Yeah, 5:30.
tonight afternoon?
Yeah. In
Well, I'll be back
3
tomorrow
hours.
morning. I'm not doing tonight. I'm cooking tamales. We're doing the Christmas whole thing.
Sure.
No, I'm not kidding, dude. We
Okay.
got like
Well, we better sign out so you can go
couple
cook.
hundred tamales making.
So for all of us here at Coyotes Curling Club and Mountain Pacific Curling Association, this has been your host, Ryan, saying, for all of us, so long, good afternoon, and good curling.
Good curling. Thank you, Daryl.
Yes, ma'am.